Welcome to another edition of Shelbyville Now Sports Talk Live. We want to welcome you in here this morning. We'll give you time to get in. There's a few that's supposed to be on this morning, but we want to welcome you and invite you to chat with us and ask questions or make comments as we get going. Today we're going to talk about our Bedford County teams, how they fared in the tournament. We had several teams make it. This last week's been a lot of excitement going on, but it came to an end last night. Community girls made it to the semis, and they got beat by, what was it, Westview.
Defending state champion.
Yep, and they made a good run. They had a great year. We want to congratulate them. Just sorry it had to end the way it did. But
since our last meeting, we've had a girls basketball team win the state,
right,
and one game away from playing for a state championship.
Right. That's right. So our county teams had a great year overall. Every school except for Central had somebody run deep into the playoffs. So you had the Cascade boys make it to the sectionals, one game away from making it to the state.
Yep.
The Webb boys made it to the state and lost in the first round. And then you had the girls win, and then we had the community girls last night get put out. But we want to congratulate all of them.
Yep.
And I don't know what we've got coming back next year as teams, but I know they'll start to work right away and taking the next step. Some of them, I know the community girls are losing a lot of players.
Cascade boys are losing a lot of players.
Yeah, and we're going to have some young teams, and the Cascade girls, some of the youth, they'll be getting a little older.
Well, Cascade girls had no seniors, and I don't think they had but one junior. So,
all right, I know Central girls, they're young, and their boys, they got a mixed bag, and community boys, they're young. So we'll look forward to that coming up next year. But guys, overall, what do you think about our teams this year?
Well, go back to this community Scotts Hill game. It was 53-52. Very exciting, huge win for community in the state tournament. But community girls shoot 14 of 17 from the free throw line, and Scotts Hill 4-13. There's your ball game. I mean, great free throw shooting by the community girls.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying, and they've been consistent doing that.
Right.
I just don't think. And this is coming off what I read from Coach Pierce, that his girls were peaking at the right time.
Yeah.
I saw them play a sub-state game against Smith County, and they came out playing well, and then had to hold off. And, of course, I don't think Coach Pierce, they were happy with the win, but I don't think he was satisfied with their play. That Westview team that they played last night is pretty good.
Yeah, they're good.
They can play with just about anybody that's up there.
And that team they beat York, it was kind of strange because that was probably your 1 and 2 seed were Westview and York. They hadn't played the first round.
So Westview's favored to go and win it.
Yeah.
So they probably will. So,
but I'll tell you what, community girls play fundamental basketball. If you want to watch a team play and you enjoy basketball, you want to watch them play.
Right.
Because they do fundamentals, and hitting foul shots is fundamental basketball.
That's it.
Then in the close game they had with Smith County, they hit foul shots.
Yeah.
And you've got to hit foul shots.
Yeah. I think overall, if you look at them, they all handled the ball pretty well. They knew how to pass. They knew how to block out. They played defense. I mean, just the fundamentals you could see, just like you're talking about.
That's right.
And other teams could take a lesson from that. If you ain't got that, you don't have anything.
It all
to build
starts
on.
with fundamentals.
Exactly.
And actually, in this game, community got behind in the second half, and I don't think they had the lead on down in the fourth quarter. So it was really nice. They actually came back in this game.
Yeah. Well, let's go on and let's say congratulations to all of our teams, especially the community girls and the Webb girls.
73-43 over Middle Tennessee Christian.
Right.
I think that was the third or fourth time they beat
Yeah.
them.
That's the fourth time.
They thumped them pretty good.
Sure did.
That was over by middle way of the first quarter. I watched that game on the NFHS network, and it was that's it. It's
Yeah.
over. There wasn't no doubting
It
who
was
was the
actually on
best
Channel
team.
30. That game was actually on Channel 30.
So now we shift to baseball and softball. Kenny, I know you're going today to referee some again. So that's getting kicked off.
Starts heavy for me. My next week, I've got a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday doubleheader on Saturday. Go back Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I mean, softball, baseball is season starts Monday.
Yep. There you go.
And
So
it's hot and heavy.
yeah, how long does the season last? How many games does we go through?
It'll be through by the mid of they'll be playing the state championship games at graduation.
Yeah.
Graduation time.
Yeah.
Middle of May.
So they're gonna play probably what, 30 games?
25, 30, yeah.
Yeah, in that range.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a fast and furious season to get all those in, and we'll be following up and letting everybody know how the teams are doing.
And I think our softballs should be. I know communities coming off of. They went to the state last year and got beat by the team that won the state that was put out, and they've got just about everybody back. They're going to be really good. Cascade's going to be young. They're supposed to be pretty talented. Central, I saw them play the other day in their play day. They look pretty good. They hit the ball well. So I think there's going to be some good high school softball. Now I can't speak on baseball because I'm around the softball, but
well, the talk is the Cascade boys are going to be fantastic.
And the pitching is going to be outstanding.
Yeah, the Cascade. That's one of the things that I'm hearing around is their pitching staff's going to be pretty strong. Good. And you've got to have a good pitching staff, but you better have a good catcher, or one or two catchers. But I don't know. It'll be fun to see.
Central should be very competitive, I think, based on what I'm hearing.
Their coach is supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah.
And has had a lot of success everywhere he's been. So that'll continue. And they've got some good talent there also.
Yeah. I hadn't heard from any of the others, but we'll, as we get into the season, we'll keep everybody up to date on what's happening there.
And soccer's going. And I think there'll be some pretty good soccer here in the county this year, too.
Yeah, is golf in the spring now?
No,
it's in the fall always. Okay. All right. Well, let's move on from high school and start talking about some SEC basketball. We got the tournament winding down this weekend. And what do you guys think the biggest upset's been so far? Any upsets that just jump out at you?
Well, Vanderbilt beating Kentucky last night. Big time.
That's it. All right. So the fact that they're
time
here.
in 2 weeks,
That's the second time in 2 weeks. And one of them is Rupp.
A huge win for Vanderbilt.
So you look at the way it sets up right now. Vanderbilt wins against Texas A&M. How do you keep them out of the NCAA tournament?
I don't think you can. I think they're in.
I
think you can make an argument they're in now, but I don't think I think they probably need to win a game. But
well, let's take a look at.
And here's the thing here's what's going to happen according to the way I look at it. From past history, you take a team like Vanderbilt, who going into the SEC tournament probably weren't going to be in the NCAA tournament. But if they get in, they were on the table and they win and they get in. It looks like in the past it's kicked one of the other teams in your conference that looked like they were going to kick them out because they only want X number of that, and that's not right.
Well, let's listen to this. Okay, you got Alabama with 27 wins as of today. Missouri with 24, Texas A&M with 24, Vanderbilt with 20, Kentucky with 21, Texas A&M. So we already talked about the Arkansas with 20, Missouri 24. We already talked about that. Tennessee with 23. Tennessee's at 23. Mississippi State with 21. LSU's out. Auburn sitting at 20 wins. Arkansas, we said that 20. So you got 1, 2. Well, you got these 4.
Sound like about 8
You got
teams.
5, 8, 9. about 10.
There'll probably be 9 or 10.
9 or 10
Could
that's
make
got 20 plus wins. And, you know,
it.
you got Vanderbilt.
Supposedly, the committee looks at who's hot at the right time of
Right.
the year.
Vanderbilt's
Vanderbilt's won 10 of
hot.
11.
Yeah.
10 of their last 11. Tennessee, on the other hand, has lost 6 of their last 10.
Yeah.
They're still going to get a good seed because they're probably one of the few teams in the country that has a win over probably 3 of the 4 top seeds.
Right. That's what they're going to have to look at.
Because they beat Texas, they beat Kansas, and they beat Alabama. But down the stretch, they've not played well where Vanderbilt has.
And they lost the point guard.
They lost their point guard.
Okay, so Alabama against Missouri today. Who you picking, Bill?
I got to go with Alabama, but let me say this about Missouri. They can shoot the basketball. I think they're going to give Alabama a good game. They can shoot it. But Bama should be just too much for them.
What about you?
I don't know anything about it. All I know is this is what I've seen. When somebody plays super, super good one week, one game, next game's usually not at the same par. And evidently, Alabama played pretty good yesterday because they beat Mississippi State. And all I saw the score and I said, wow, that's because they had played 2 nip and tuck ball games. Yeah,
well,
I think Alabama should.
Okay, you're an Alabama man. You got to pick Alabama.
Well, I'm going to pick Alabama. Yeah.
All right, so them beating Mississippi State that bad, with Mississippi State with 21 wins, does Mississippi State make the tournament now, getting beat that bad by Alabama?
Probably not.
Probably they're going to be NIT bound, probably. All right, so I'm going to take Alabama against Missouri. All right, Texas A&M Vanderbilt. Who do you like here, Bill?
I love the way Texas A&M constantly drives the basket. I love the way that Buzz coaches. He's just so aggressive. There's just something about this Vanderbilt team. I got a feeling you're going to see another upset today, and I'm going to take Vandy.
You're going to take Vandy?
I'm going to take Vandy.
I'm going to take Vandy because I don't want A&M to do anything because of Fisher. Jimbo is he's taunted their basketball program also.
Well, I'm going to take Texas A&M in this, and the championship game I think will be Texas A&M Alabama, and that's tomorrow at 1:00. But we got these 2 games too. I think they're going to be 2 good ball games.
They're 12 and 2:30 earlier in the day too.
And we get to watch those today. So
I won't. I'll be on the softball field.
All right. So we're going to talk. We just talked about this, and we're going to talk about the NCAA field. When is the selection show?
Sunday.
It's tomorrow, and it comes out right after.
It's about 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Yeah, after some of these championship games are over.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think the SEC is going to put 8 in there. I really
They
do.
put 9.
It'd be a good showing. I tell you, we talked about this last week about how strong they are top to bottom.
I said this SEC is the new ACC.
Yeah.
But I could make the argument if I had to come down to it, that if it just stayed the way it is now, that I would see Vanderbilt getting in over Mississippi State right now, to me.
Because
of how hot they are at the right time of the year.
I agree with that. Before you even take a look at the field that's in the NCAA tournament, who do you feel like is going to be the favorite to go all the way at this point?
I don't know anything about it, but I know what y'all saying, and I know a little bit of what I've read. Alabama's playing pretty good. Here, this Houston team, pretty good. Them would be the 2 I'd go with because I've read the most about. But you've always got Kansas always plays basketball.
You're going to have some mid-major too.
I don't
think about
the teams that you don't hear a whole lot about that, let's say, play for pride and play the game with fundamentals.
Yep.
And there's going to be somebody in there. But this is me, I don't think you're going to hear the wholesale, old-fashioned North Carolina.
Yeah.
North Carolina's not
Some
going to
new
get
names.
I don't think you're going to hear those names much. You might hear Kentucky a little bit.
Duke's playing really well right now, though.
Well, when this bracket's out, I'm going to get them out to you, and we're going to make our selections, all right, and see how we compare on that. But I like Purdue. They're still in the
they
mix.
got that great big boy, that big 7'6".
Yeah, I think they're gonna do pretty
He ain't
good.
the guy that holds them goldfish. Great old big guy got that goldfish, both 6'7".
Oh gosh. All right, now let's move on and talk some NFL.
Let's talk about Coach Ensel for a minute. I
Well,
believe
yeah,
the
all right.
middle
Let's
girls
bring
are in
them
the
up
finals
again,
today
at North Texas
against
State
Western
playing out there.
Kentucky,
Yeah.
and they've already beat Western twice. They beat UTEP yesterday 68-62. So Coach Ensel's in
And
the
that
finals.
was a close ball game.
Right.
That was close according to what I was seeing on sports last night.
They had just played them on March the 4th, And actually, UTEP was up on them with 69 seconds left by 5, and Middle came back to overtime.
So
beat 'em.
Middle has redeemed. At one time they went out to Texas, and Coach Hensel wasn't real happy, but they've redeemed themselves since then.
I lost a game since
And
those
they
two.
lost.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is 9 in a row.
So they're definitely tournament bound.
Well, they need to win today because due to the Conference USA, you don't probably
You
gotta
have
win
to,
that tournament probably to get in.
Yeah.
Because of the conference.
Mhm.
Although Middle is ranked 25 in the country, they
Yeah.
should get in.
They should get in. I think they will.
But they need
Yeah,
to
we got to pull
want to
for
beat
'em.
Western Kentucky today.
Oh, we're definitely going to be pulling for them.
Definitely. All right, let's shift to NFL. A lot of stuff going on. Guys, we were talking about the trade between
My son is ticked as being a Packer fan. I asked him last night, I said, Aaron, he's on his way on a little short weekend vacation with some of his friends. I said, anything you want me to put on the podcast today? And he said, tell him I'm ticked. I said, why is that? He said, because the Bears just got better.
Boy,
Yep,
they stacked,
sure
didn't
did.
they?
I tell you what was Carolina thinking,
Desperate
giving
for a
away-
quarterback.
giving away their top receiver?
Yep.
Number 1 this year, number 2 this year, number 2 next year, and the number 1 the year before. Guys, listen. That's 6 players.
Unless Chicago
For one-
blows it, they're
and-
going to be stacked.
And yeah, because Chicago still got all the
I know
other
it.
picks also.
Yeah. So they're going to walk away a new team after the draft.
But
They
if you're-
will be totally, and on top of that, they have the best cap space in the NFL. Well, you said something
$96 million.
so they've got
By far the
extra
They can
money.
get a couple other players.
A bunch of players.
Man, they just reload completely.
Well, I mean, they got a chance to, with all of these good high end draft picks they're going to get. They're going to be on rookie salaries, so you
Yeah.
can use that other cap to go out and get some of these proven veterans.
So does this play out in the 2023 season? Do you think we see them as a contender in the North now? Just automatically?
Definitely.
I do too. I think
definitely.
I mean, NFL is a right now league.
Yeah.
It's not build or rebuild. It's like instant.
I just
now.
don't understand putting the DJ Moore part in the trade if you're the Panthers, because obviously you like Stroud or you like Young in Alabama. That's who they're going to draft. Then you just took away the only real weapon you had for the rookie quarterback.
What? And their offensive line's horrible.
And the offensive line is terrible. So, and you got you paid all this draft capital to get a quarterback with no weapons
Mhm. And no line.
and no line to boot.
And
Yeah.
here you are. I'm just gonna say, if I'm C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young, I want to be picked second.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
want to go
right.
number 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or number
So,
3.
yeah.
I don't want to be first overall.
So who do they
Not
pick?
this year.
Who do they pick?
I think they like
Whoever
Stroud.
they like as their
They like
quarterback.
somebody a lot, and they know.
Yeah.
And they're afraid Houston likes them too, and that's why they had to
And,
get over.
and I think what they're going to do is you can see how the NFL is swinging. I'm an Alabama guy.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to go with the quarterback from Ohio State because of his legs,
And size.
because of his wheels and his size. I mean, look at what's happening. You got Mahomes that can throw it, but he can
Yeah.
run.
Yep.
Hurts can run. There's others out there that are
Fields in Chicago can run.
there, and I think that's you're seeing. I think you're slowly seeing the professional game transition to the collegiate game. It used to be just the opposite.
Yeah.
It used to be the opposite.
Back when Peyton came into the league, it's the tall
Mhm.
pocket passer that was pro
and
style.
you know, in the past, if you're a defensive coordinator, you didn't have to worry about the quarterback other than his throwing abilities. Now he becomes a runner, so you're playing 11 on 11 instead of 11 on 10.
Yeah.
You can't afford to drop that extra person back in pass coverage because of the mobile quarterback, and I think that's what you'll see.
Okay,
I
so
think
you
that's what
see
you'll
this
see
happening
Carolina
league wide.
Oh yeah.
Where does that put people like
Tannehill's
Tannehill? Some of these other
Tannehill's mobile.
Tannehill's
yeah, he can
mobile.
run, but
He's
he's
mobile.
not that guy that you.
Well, everybody's not going to have
Right.
those guys. I
Yeah.
mean, there's not enough. And here's another thing. And Bill brought this up a whole lot with Hurts. You know, if they run a whole lot, they're putting their team on the line because they're one play, one mistake, one roll up from being done for the season.
Yep.
Especially the way they play hurts, having him run between the tackles on short yardage. You're just asking for trouble.
The NFL's talking about changing the rule on the quarterback sneak where they're not going to push. Does that come back up in the?
It should. And the other thing that should come up is forward progress. I don't remember. We used to have forward progress whistles blown. Now you can sit there and drag somebody 10 yards. When did they change that rule?
That's not good.
It's not good. It leads to a lot more injuries.
And I'll tell you another thing. We're talking about these rules. I think the SEC's made a good rule change.
The flops or the speed up.
To try to help speed up the game. It's not official, but they're going to go to sort of like the NFL, where when after a first down, in the SEC, the clock stopped.
Yeah.
It's
going to keep running.
It's going to keep running. As soon as you spot, it's going to keep running.
Okay, so how does the SEC do that and not the rest of the NCAA?
I don't know.
Is the NCAA all?
It may be.
I would assume it has to be the whole NCAA. Each conference can change rules out the body.
Yeah. I don't
So
know.
that's what they're talking about doing then. So it's an automatic timeout when you get a first down on that game-winning drive. You save 30 seconds.
The thing about it is the NFL is that way the whole game. The SEC is talking about the last 2 minutes.
Going back to
where it's always been.
Okay. Well, that still allows that.
NFL-wise, I would probably have to say the big loser of the week is Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. I mean, where's he
going now? Tua just got his fifth-year option picked up. No one seems to be interested in a trade.
Here's the thing about Lamar that I think hurts Lamar, but it helps Lamar. You don't have an agent. He's his own agent. Now, it hurts him because he don't have somebody out there in the ears of all the other teams. It helps him because he don't lose a third of his contract to his agent.
Right.
I mean, when somebody signs a contract for, let's just say, $3 million, $1 million of it is going to that agent.
Yeah. I'm sorry, if you can pay Daniel Jones and you're the Giants that kind of money, Lamar ought to get some money too.
Yeah, well,
Lamar's a whole lot better than Daniel Jones.
He will get some money, but
who's he going to be from?
Looks like Baltimore. I don't know if he's going to have much choice. I'm surprised Atlanta didn't have an interest in Lamar. I kept expecting him to wind up there.
And here's another thing: you're looking at these. How far has Lamar got them in the playoffs?
Well, he hadn't, and he's missed 6 games the last 2 years, and people are looking at that too.
Yeah,
and I don't think he helped himself by not coming back for the playoffs. Hurt a little bit too when you're wanting.
Yeah. The one thing you just talked about was agents. This week, Arian Foster made the news again. Did y'all see that? Where he was talking about, he was on the same podcast where he's talking about the NFL being staged. He said now that all the inside scoop and all the player maneuvering behind the background, all the intel is coming from agents. That Adam Schefter is paying them. Did you see that?
I saw that.
It's like this agent might pay $20,000 to get the scoop on this story, so that he's out ahead of it. That the agents are the ones that are giving all the information out.
That's interesting.
So they're getting it double scoop. They're getting it from the player and they're getting it from the sports broadcasters to try to get them some extra.
Yeah. So that lets you understand.
An agent?
You might need an agent.
I might.
Well, here the weird thing is now you hear so many rumors going on. Every day there's a new NFL rumor that comes out. Where's that coming from? Okay, let's end up on Titans and Ben Jones. Ben Jones cut. Okay, what's the story?
Because of his physical.
His physical exam.
Did not pass his physical.
Yeah.
Love Ben Jones to
death. I do too.
Love him to death. Love what he stands for.
Tough guy.
The way he carries himself, how tough he is. He is a Titan. He is a Titan in all means. Now, Ben, come on. There's time that I love the game, and there's time that says it's time to step away.
Yeah.
At the end of his career, he's having multiple concussions, taking him longer to get away, overcome it. It's time to step away, while I can still walk and talk
Yeah.
and be with my family.
Right.
Still love you to death. It's not gonna, but
I like to see him come back and retire as a Titan.
I want to see him retire as a Titan.
Yeah.
And I think Coach Vrabel
Yeah.
and the entire Titan organization wants him to retire as a Titan.
His heart's still in it, but his head.
He is a Titan.
Yeah.
You talk about holes in an offensive line now.
Oh man, we
Yeah.
got
They're
to
saying we're probably not
strong.
going. I'm hearing we're not going to re-sign Nate Davis because it's going to cost too much money. So you're going to replace 4 of 5 linemen.
Anything free agency out
But
there.
I'm gonna tell you, you got and the thing about you talk about if you're going to retire, if you got to replace 4 of the 5, and you got a center coming back, hey, the center is the bell cow.
Yeah.
The center is the anchor. He dictates the offensive line.
Yep.
And you're losing, not only we're losing the great Titan, but the one that can look at the defense while he's squatting down with a ball in his hand and tell everybody else what's going to happen. Now the quarterback's standing up looking at it, but the center's doing the same thing.
And snapping the
And
football
snapping
to the
the ball
quarterback
and
without a
doing all-
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
In today's
a lot
NFL,
going on
it's
right
just-
there.
it's going, but I'll tell you, Kelsey from Philadelphia is a free agent.
Well, he would be a good grab if you could get him cheap
Oh,
enough.
yeah,
Who
he
knows? One other thing that's been out in the press this week, not on television, but some of the online sports outlets have talked about Derrick Henry was shopped, but there was no interest. Now, do y'all see that happening? Y'all believe
It's
that's
a big cat number at $16 million.
Yeah,
That scares some teams off.
And I'm gonna tell you, the running back position is not valued like it used to be.
No, it's 5 years and you're gone.
The running back position is not valued like it used to be.
But there's 3 teams that Henry could go to that I think put him over the top: Buffalo, the Bengals, or the Eagles. Especially the Bengals, because you're already paying Joe Mixon like $14 million. I'd want to maybe cut Mixon and make a trade for Henry. And then where would Joe Burrow be with that?
Does his talent though disrupt the game plan to where it
Exactly.
gets you off?
I don't think he would at all.
Well, Henry's the running back that
30 carries.
the more carries he gets, the better he
One thing
is.
I don't not think would
But
done as well.
with
His
those-
hands are better than people think. People
with
say
those-
he can't catch it. Henry probably was the 2nd or 3rd best receiver on our team,
at times,
which the receivers weren't very
but
good.
at times he did try to catch.
Yeah.
He,
I mean,
I don't disagree. He's got
better hands than people make it out.
I think he's got to go to a team where he's the showcase and he's a bell cow for 2 or 3 more years.
I don't think so at all. I think he's that talented. He does not. It might have actually help him to go somewhere where he's not the bell cow, and then he can break those longer runs when you're not having a stacked box. I
That's
still think
true.
Henry's
That's
elite.
Yeah.
Henry's an elite player,
But I'll
but the
tell
poor
you
guy's got 11 guys on him every snap.
where he is.
Where he is right
Titans.
now.
Yeah.
Be
And
better
I'll
for him
tell
to go
you,
on.
the thing about Henry, he's an Alabama guy. I love him to death. My son loves him to death. And Aaron's got a few Derrick Henry stories that if he was here, he could get with you, where they had some conversations. But Henry wasn't a very good professional running back until Eddie George got in that tail.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And then when Eddie George
Different
got
ball
that,
game.
Different ball
he
game.
has been a different player ever since.
Well,
And,
he was a little bit passive for his first couple of
That's
years.
exactly.
And that 3rd year, he turned into a line.
Mhm.
I think
He
the
went
other,
after
the other player that the Titans have been shopping that's not getting the press. They've been trying to trade Tannehill pretty hard. They're not getting any takers
Yeah,
on
no.
that one either.
I don't see Tannehill.
Yeah.
Having
I
a
don't-
trade market.
No, I don't see that either. And I don't see. I agree with what you said with those 3, but I don't think a whole lot of people are going to give up a whole lot
No.
for. And I love him to death, Derrick Henry.
But when the
Yeah.
Bengals have $44 million in cap space, you can make a lateral move with Mixon, who's in a little bit of trouble right now anyway. And I just think Henry would be a
Not
huge upgrade
saying that wouldn't be a great move for him
for just a year or two. And try to put
But
yourself with that window.
I'll say this: you want to hear a fan base go crazy?
Oh, man.
Move him,
Yeah.
move him,
Now there's
Yeah.
talks
I
that,
think
that
that-
Hilliard will come back. Have you heard that?
That who?
Hilliard.
I think
That third
nobody's
down back,
safe
that
right
will-
now up here.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Okay. Well,
This is wholesale
Well,
turnover change.
yeah, they're going. This new GM is going to put his stamp down.
yeah.
He's going to build his, and he's going to be in there with Vrabel. And I think this is Parkerism. They know their offense has got to change. Their offense has got to change to keep up with. Saban understood that,
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
and I think the Titans are about the same place where Alabama football was a few years ago before they hired Lane Kiffin.
I would have felt better about it had they made some external hires for the offensive line coach and the OC. Now, my fear is we're going to go right back to a derivative
Wait,
of the other.
1 year.
Yeah.
And if it don't work out right, this GM,
Yep.
will make some changes.
Well, March 15th is a critical day for the NFL. It's like the starting point for
Free
the
agents.
next season. So this week coming up.
The draft comes up
Yeah.
into April.
Yeah. So got a lot to talk about, guys. But thanks for watching this morning. We got sidetracked on the NFL, but man, it's a lot of stuff happening
It's
every day,
Hey.
and it'll be around the corner.
Got nothing to do Monday. I guarantee you, you can go to Central, you can go to Cascade, you can go to Community, and find a game to watch.
Oh yeah,
Because
definitely.
everybody is playing. It's head over heels next week in spring sport. Now, let's don't say Monday because it's supposed to be about 45 degrees Monday. Let's go Thursday when it's going to be 70.
Right.
Yeah, it warms up a little bit. People will get out. Guys, again, thanks for watching. Get out, support your local teams, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Have a good week coming up.